So if you're wondering when scenes like these end, the answer is we have no idea. So this was from over the weekend. You had scenes in Portland and scenes in Chicago, sparking a legal battle now and prompting Democratic leaders to renew resistance on the administration. Mike Tobin is in Broadview, Illinois, to give us the lowdown on where we are today on this. Mike, nice to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. This fence that went up as protesters gathered here at the ICE processing facility in Broadview, Illinois, has now until midnight tonight when a court order says it needs to come down. A U.S. District Court determined that the fence went up on municipal land. It blocks a public street that prevents fire trucks and ambulances from getting through in the event of an emergency. So the chief of police said yesterday the fence is going to be replaced with a gate operated by local police so they can control when it opens and closes, and the police presence is also intended to keep protesters from getting across. Barriers have been placed on the southwest side of the ICE facility where the local officials say protesters could wander into traffic. This area where I'm now on Beach Street on the northwest side is intended to be a protest zone, but even the Democrat mayor acknowledges that these protests get out of control.
There have been far too many protesters raising their fists instead of their voices, creating chaos at the expense of those who live here. Our residents do not have the privilege to retreat to quiet neighborhoods once the cameras are gone. They live here, they work here, and they deserve peace.
200 Texas National Guardsmen are still stuck in limbo. An appeals court ruled the president can federalize the Guard, but they can't deploy where Governor J.B. Pritzker does not want them in the state of Illinois. Coming back from the Middle East on Air Force One, President Trump again brought up the idea of using the Insurrection Act and stressed again that Pritzker should be asking for his help. The federal agents have now detained some 1,500 people since the start of Operation Midway Blitz, and the fence now has 13 and a half hours until it's supposed to come down. Bill?
Okay, we'll watch it, see what happens then. Thank you, Mike. Nice to see you. Dana?
I'm proud to bring back Madison Sheehan. She's the Deputy ICE Director. It's great to have you here. Governor Pritzker of Illinois tried to ratchet this up, and he said this about federal agents.
We see powerful voices.
Looking for Governor Pritzker, if we've got that. If not, I'll just read it to you, Madison. He said the tables will turn someday. These people should recognize that maybe they're not going to get prosecuted today, although we're looking at doing that. But they may get prosecuted after the Trump administration for the things that they did because the statute of limitations won't have run out. I mean, that's meant to chill any sort of follow through on directions that they're getting from the Trump administration to carry things out if they're worried that they will get prosecuted later. How does ICE deal with that?
Well, look, this is a classic move that we see from the Democrats. They're going after our law enforcement officers. They're using judges to do it. They're using every tool in their toolbox to go after our officers. But the thing everyone needs to remember is federal law enforcement officers have very broad jurisdiction. We have the ability to go into almost any city and neighborhood to be able to enforce federal law. The men and women of ICE go in and enforce immigration law as it's written. These are laws that were put together by Congress. These are the laws that we're going to follow to make sure that we're removing the worst of the worst. This week we've removed TDA members from Chicago, people convicted of sex crimes, child crimes, and the list goes on, and we see this everywhere, and we'll continue to go after the worst of the worst, even if the Democrats choose to attack our federal law enforcement officers in doing so.
I was actually going to ask you about that, which is what kind of progress ICE is having there. How are you able to do that without cooperation from the local jurisdictions?
Our officers are able to use our intelligence and targeting packages to go after the worst of the worst. Anybody that's been convicted of any crimes, we're able to target them, locate them, and ultimately remove them from the community. This is something that Governor Pritzker doesn't want us doing. He wants these gang members, murderers, rapists left out on the street. Like I said, we've arrested TDA gang members. We've arrested 18th Street gang members. We've arrested people that have been convicted of sex crimes, of child trafficking crimes. The list goes on. And we can read those rap sheets and we post them on our social media pages to tell the story of what we're doing at ICE, which is removing the worst of the worst. We're not attacking federal law enforcement officers. We're not infringing on anyone's rights. We're going after people who have caused harm to the American people, and one victim of alien crime is one too many.
Madison, could President Trump provide immunity to those law enforcement officers, those federal law enforcement officers, to prevent them from being prosecuted in the future by somebody like a Governor Pritzker?
Look, President Trump has been an incredible supporter of the men and women of law enforcement. He has taken the front row of making sure that he has the law enforcement officers back. Secretary Noem has done the exact same thing and will continue to take direction from both the president and Secretary Noem to make sure the American people are put first and the American people are safe.
All right, Madison, so I don't know if you had a chance to see that there were these protesters in Portland. Then they decided to get naked and ride bikes around Portland in order to protest ICE's actions there. The city council president said this to Politico: "We are looking at a federal administration that is trying to incite the reality that they are trying to describe. The president's characterization of the facts on the ground is completely disconnected from the truth." I mean, the bike ride went quite a ways, but it didn't go to the heart of the matter, which is the ICE facility and the federal buildings that you're trying to protect. How do you respond to the Portland City Council president?
Well, look, I think we've seen time and time again that the people in Portland will go after federal law enforcement officials. They'll go after immigration officials. They'll create violent attacks against our officers at our facility while they're out doing their job. And we're seeing this all over the place. This is just another classic example of the mayor and the governor not having any control and law and order in their cities to allow federal law enforcement officers to enforce the law.
You know, it could get cold pretty soon, and those naked bike rides could get uncomfortable. Yeah. All right. Madison, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.